All right, so I am going to stick to my time slot, which if I exceed, I'm going to hear a ting bell and then I'm going to have to stop. I'm going to see how much of what I have learned about how nature could heal me, I can impart in my 15-minute talk today. And what happens to us as we get into the practice of whatever field we are in, whether it's functional medicine, Reiki, it could be anything. Okay, it worked. Yeah, thanks. So can we, okay, do I get 2 extra minutes for this? So we are going to talk about what does it really mean to be alive on this planet and what it means to have life on this planet. Okay, it doesn't matter if the video doesn't play. Basically, there was a video that was showing like the beginning of life, right from the first microbe right up to like the plants and trees and everything growing, and then what have we done with life? Do we live the way life was created on this planet a billion years ago? What has happened to us? The video would show like there are cars and there are industries and there are factories and there's Delhi air, which is the worst place to live in during winters, but that is what we've done with life. Okay, so just move on to the next slide. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. What we have managed to do with the life force that was given to us is we've messed it up. But what we are going to attempt to learn today is if we harmonize life, we can really have eternal life. Because life as a force does not extinguish itself. What happens to us is because we do not really know how to let this nature force harmonize inside us, it kind of just goes all over the place. Okay, so illness in the body is basically when all the forces of nature are in disharmony, that's when illness happens. The planet is ill, we are ill, some of us are in business because other people are ill. How many of us are like that? Okay, I mean it's sad that our work revolves around having to help others who don't even know how to help their own health, but we exist for that. And if you start looking at what is really triggering illness in anybody's body, you will see that at some point there is some kind of disharmony happening that is eventually showing up as a disease. And the disharmony might not just be one thing. The disharmony might be a disharmony between all the possible forces of nature that exist in our body. Now, I keep speaking about the forces of nature. Can anyone give me what these forces of nature are? Give me examples of that. Light is one. What else? Breath, air is another one. Water, earth, fire. Absolutely. Okay. So there are Panch Mahabhuta in Ayurveda. The way we look at human health at iThrive, we've put them into 8 categories. And we're just going to quickly look at these 8 categories today, because my goal or my vision is that if we all really learn how to harmonize these 8 different forces, we can really live long lives. We can, like, we don't have to die, we don't have to age, we don't have to collapse from this thing called life unless we choose to. Okay, we get too bored, no friends are left, no one's left, and you're like, it's too boring, I'm going to go. Maybe we can go like that. What has happened to a lot of us is we have accepted aging and death at a certain age as a normal part of life. And that is something I want to challenge and question. To do that, we have to learn how to harmonize these forces of nature. Okay, so there was a quiz in your bags. Did you guys see the quiz? Did anyone take the quiz? Did you? I'm so proud of you. Quickly get the quiz out of your goodie bags. Oh, by the way, all functional medicine practitioners are making our own hierarchy of these things that we have. Okay, so there's a quiz there. Quickly score yourself on those questions. I'm giving you like precisely those 2 minutes that my video took for not playing. It's just yes, no questions. And I'm giving you less time so that you don't try to make yourself look better on the quiz. No chat GPT. Yeah, that quiz. The quiz with do you do this, do you do that, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, it's question answers, not a quiz. I was corrected, my very wise uncle there. Finished? Cool. Have you written your name on top? Shailesh, please settle down quickly. Yes, please write your name and pass it to your neighbor because they're going to score you for it now. Okay, quickly pass it to your neighbor. Just something fun. Like, I just want to see who gets what kind of points. So for every no, there's a 0. For every yes, there is 1 point. For every no, there is 0. For every yes, there's 1 point. It's a yes, no. I'm not doing gray areas today. Finish scoring, that should be faster than the answers. Okay, what's the highest score anyone's got? Like 1? Anyone at 1? 5? 5? Anyone higher than 5? Okay, nice. Anyone higher? Anyone at 8? Anyone at 12? 12? 12? Okay. Anyone at 14? No? 16? Do we have anything higher than 16? 16. 2 16s. Is there a 17? Is there anything higher than 17?
One I could not answer because I don't mineralize and I don't.
Reasons don't matter. Yes, no. 17? Okay. So big clap for her because she's doing a lot of things that are going to keep her in good health. Do we have a t-shirt for her, please? Okay. So the point of this quiz was to kind of just bring your attention to all the things that we are really supposed to do to bring health back. For some of you, it might be like, how can one do all these things in a single day? It's possible. I do them. And the person who scored 17 is doing them. Where is my clicker? It's not working? No, we tested it. Okay. So the previous slide, when I was talking about the quiz, also had a pyramid of the things that we are supposed to do. Can we have the previous slide, please? Yeah, thank you. Most of us in functional medicine, we focus on a lot of testing, a lot of supplements, a lot of lifestyle modification, and that is important because that is the absolute bare minimum foundation of life. Without that, you can't really do more stuff. But there are so many interventions that you can do that will take you to the top of the pyramid, which is just learning to live life from a place of consciousness. I'm not going to talk too much about that because Nilesh will be talking about that. Next slide, please. Okay, so the first nature force that I want to talk about is the force of Earth, or the very planet that we live on. It offers us resources, it offers us stability, it offers us steadfastness. all the tests we do, all the supplements we prescribe, all the food recommendations that we do, all the detox protocols, the essential oils, the bioidentical hormone therapy, everything that we do comes from this one singular element. But many of us forget that beyond all of these things that we spend a lot of money on, there's something that is so simple, which is just grounding. Did you guys visit the grounding mat? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't even need a grounding mat. You can just go stand on bare earth and you'll still get the benefit of grounding, which is going to reduce inflammation, which is going to put you back in touch with this earth. Next slide, please. This element, okay, the element of earth is energetically linked to what we call as the root chakra, which is what gives us a sense of safety, security, and stability. Now, we work with so many clients, they come to us with like severe anxiety issues, or they really can't focus, they're all over the place, the mind isn't always is in chaos all of the time, and a lot of times they're not connected to this earth element or the root chakra in their own body. So, I mean, not that I can teach all of that today, but if you're taking notes, one of the things I would want you to do is learn how to bring back alignment and grounding into this chakra of your body. And standing barefoot, going back to earth, using a grounding mat is a great way to feel grounded. But there are yogasanas, there are breath practices, there are many things that you can do to actually bring balance back into the earth element. Second element is water. How many of you use RO filters at home? Almost all of us are filtering our water. Most of us don't remineralize that water. Okay, why is it important to remineralize filtered water? Yes, thank you. It's filtered, so it's losing all of its minerals. A lot of the minerals that earth wants to send to us comes through the water that's flowing on earth. So if we don't add minerals back into our water, we are drinking water that has been leached of those minerals, and it actually is really bad for our body. So you could use any kind of electrolytes to remineralize. I'm not doing supplement recommendations today, but water is really like the center of life. Okay, anything that is alive on this planet has water inside it. Pune winters are notorious for sucking the water out of you because dry skin and everything happens. But if we don't have enough water, we are going to feel exhausted, fatigued, tired, completely depleted. Okay, so water is what runs our body. And beyond water, just drinking water, there's something called as EZ water that's there at a cellular level. This EZ water or exclusion zone water is what powers the battery that our body is. We are electrical beings. We all experience static in winters especially, yeah? Because there's electricity flowing through our body, okay? Like the breath also that you felt, like if some of you felt a little tingling, if some of you felt something moving in your body, those were currents moving through your body. And water is the conductor of this electricity in our body. So the EZ water is crucial for our cellular health. Now you can't drink EZ water, you have to make it in your body. And how do you do that? We'll go to that, but the water element, and also please phones on silent. The water element correlates with the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, and it's associated with creativity, sexuality, emotions, and pleasure. Out of this, I find that people who do not have a good relationship with their own sacral chakra, or like actually they're dehydrated, they find it very hard to be creative and to be in the flow of life. Okay, so water becomes important for you to really connect with your own creativity, your own emotions. Like our emotional overwhelm in the body is addressed by a flow of water. I'm like a prime example of that, but I don't want to demo right now for you guys. But when we're sad, we cry. When we're happy, we cry. When we get moved by something beautiful, we cry. When we are overwhelmed, we cry. Okay, that is just the body discharging that extra current using water. So the more connected we are to the element of water outside of us and within us, the more we'll be in flow with the rest of our lives. Next. Okay, so how do we really build better cellular water? How do we really truly hydrate properly? Okay, hydration is not just about saying I drink 3 liters of water per day. Hydration is basically getting the most out of the water you're going to drink Filter it. Groundwater is horribly contaminated. We have too many nasty things in our groundwater now. So filter all your water, remineralize it, structure your water. Okay, so what is structured water? Basically, you're adding the structure of natural water that is there back into your tap water. The kind of water we get from our taps is dead water. This has been proven through experiments. Those of you taking notes, you can write down Veda Austin's name. Veda does a lot of work with water, including she's trying to decode the language of water because water speaks to her through water glyphs. It's incredible work, but she speaks a lot about structuring water and how water can really alter your state of being. You can also vortex water. None of my videos are playing, thank you, but that video had a really cool vortex of water building. You can do that. The hydrogen bottle guys, whenever they come, they do have bottles that actually do the vortexing, so it'll be fun to see that. Please avoid plastic bottles. If you notice in your goodie bags, we've given you glass bottles, and this is water from the Aravali, I think. It's Ava water, it's spring water, it's the highest energetic water that you can get. Okay, so drink good water, be a water connoisseur. Most of us spend our lives becoming wine connoisseurs, but water is a better thing to connoisse about. Okay, so drink good water, and water listens. Any of you heard of Masaru Emoto's work? Now, this guy actually went and tested and saw that if you said things to water, the crystalline structure of that water would change. Like if you did to water what most Indian parents did to us when we were kids, the structure of that water is really broken. But if you do to water with what good, kind friends do to you, if you have them in your life, the structure of water changes, okay, which is basically speaking nicely and kindly. Water listens, water can change its structure based on what you're saying to it. So when you drink your water, like literally for the last 2 months, I've told water, make me thin. Those of you that saw me 3 months ago know it's worked, okay? So water listens. I mean, I didn't really say that, but water listens, okay? So you can just say, heal me, or you can just say, let there be more light, or I want to love myself. You can say anything to the water when you're going to drink it. It picks that up, okay? There are enough experiments now to prove this is not woo-woo, and this can be proven by repeated science. Third element, fire. People get scared of this one because it's very intense. It sometimes shows up as anger as an emotion, but it is really a very powerful force. It's the force of intelligence. It's the force of like intelligent will within the body. And it spreads within every tissue, cell, and every system of your body if it's running right. It really, I get 2 extra minutes. My slides didn't run well. Physiologically, it translates to good digestion, lots of energy, good metabolic health, and heat throughout the body. If you have the fire element running well through your body, you won't feel cold in this auditorium. Is anyone feeling cold? Right. Okay, so it's associated with the Manipura chakra, which governs willpower and self-identity. And again, when fire is weak, you will be weaker in that. Okay, so you'll be collapsed inwards. You will not be able to stand up for yourself. So how do you strengthen fire? Next. Okay, so the best way to bring back the element of fire in your life is to move, not burning things down. Not going to ask you to become arsonist, but the more you move, the more this energy builds in your body, because fire is a very action-oriented element. Okay, so you take action, fire builds. And you have a variety of movements that you can do. So someone who has, let's say, chronic disease, fibromyalgia, can't really do too many movements. There are low-intensity movements. Someone who can move more, there are so many other movements, but moving every day, super important. As many times in as many different forms through the day. And then we have the fourth element, which is air, which we all experienced for 10 minutes. This is literally the life force moving through our bodies, called prana shakti. Okay, so air element is something that we cannot survive without. However, what happens is when it becomes unbalanced, okay, when there's too much of the air element in us And that can happen because all of us are stress breathing through the day, doing shallow breathing, doing really short breaths, and or we're just stuck in our minds, not really connected deeply to our hearts. It becomes harder to navigate life in a more balanced way. Okay, so then you'll just have a lot of racing thoughts, a lot of inability to focus. So how do you harness the healing potential of air? The first basic things, please do it everywhere. So at homes, get good quality air filters because the air we breathe now is really bad. Okay, and that could be causing chronic issues. There's a really cool company in India that's made like these personal air purifiers. Atovio, yeah. Use air purifying plants. You don't need to always invest in devices. There are a lot of plants, like the snake plant is exceptional at cleaning air. And tape your mouth during sleep because then you'll be doing nose breathing when you're sleeping. Okay, so 3 basic things you can start off like right from tomorrow. If you want to go a little further, then you start doing a daily breathwork practice. If you want to go further with air, okay, because air is not just oxygen. Air has hydrogen, air has your nitric oxide, it has carbon dioxide, it has so many different gases that combine and form the air we breathe. You can go deeper into each of them and start using these different gases therapeutically. So the hydrogen bottle guys, I think, also have hydrogen inhalation. Ozone requires a clinical setup. HBOT requires a clinical setup. You could do controlled carbon dioxide retention under supervision initially, which is you hold your breath and just feel what carbon dioxide does. And increased intrinsic nitric oxide you can do by breathing only through the nose when you're exercising. Even cold exposure does that. Okay, so this is how you could use air. Next. Sky or space, on its own, it doesn't really even come to our attention that this exists as an element. 3 minutes. Do you want me to finish the last element? Yes. Thank you. See? So this is basically something that holds all the elements together. And this is where you can actually create whatever you want. Okay, sky is like that. It's large. Next. So it corresponds to the throat chakra. It gives you the ability to listen and speak well. The image and the slides not there in the background. All right. Just internet's not working. Go back to the previous slide. So quick thing about air and about space. I mean about space and sky. Keep your space like decluttered. Okay. If you keep it cluttered, you will not be able to have space for creativity. Shut down all Wi-Fi when you sleep. Do not use Wi-Fi as much as possible. That's one way to keep your space that's healing you. And there are many other points that when we send the PDF with the actual image in the background, you'll see, but not going there now. Next. Okay, so sound healing again. While we speak of space, I'm just bringing in light on sound. So when we did the breath work, you heard the sound and different kind of music created different states. So that's what sound does. Sound has a profound role to play in healing. Each of your chakras corresponds to a different kind of frequency. And if you actually use sound to heal, you will see it helps you become calmer and more peaceful. The last element for today is light. To me, is one of my favorite ones because when you actually do light correctly, you'll need lesser food. You really need lesser food if you learn how to harness light. Of course, from a more spiritual perspective, it also symbolizes the knowledge coming and taking away ignorance and darkness. Next slide, please. Okay, it corresponds to both our higher centers. These are the centers that help us connect to the divine. Next slide. This is the thing I want you all to practice the most. Whether you mineralize your water or not, that's up to you. Light is a free resource. Wake up, see the sunrise. How many of you answered no to that? Okay, that's not a good thing to do. Like the sun is the giver of life here. Wake up and see the sunrise. And then there are different phases of light that you can access through the day. There's a really great app called the My Circadian app. We'll send you those links. Use that to find out when you should be out in what part of the day. Okay, the more you harmonize with the entire day's natural frequency of light, the better your health will be. Do red light therapy. We have the guys here. Change the lights at home to incandescent, okay? The Purana wala bulbs, our old bulbs, not those dirty white lights. Avoid blue light after sunset. Okay, these are things that you really do, and you will see how much your sleep, health, energy, everything improves. And spend time in darkness. What that means is post sunset, switch off the lights and just let your body start making melatonin. Okay, quickly. There was such a beautiful graphic at the back of it, but we'll just go with whatever's there and what's not. Now, all those 7 elements that I mentioned earlier, you can harmonize them only if your consciousness is oriented towards bringing health and life and vitality back into your body. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about that because Nilesh is going to talk about that. Even when it comes to breath work, Mike is going to speak about that. So we have a lot of speakers who are going to speak about each of these topics through the day. Please be here in the auditorium seated for those talks. You can always network and make friends later in the day. But please be here. We have lovely speakers and listen to all of them sharing what they're going to share. And had my slides worked, this would have been so much more beautiful. But here we are. All right. Any questions? We'll do them later because I'm 2 minutes over my time.
Thank you, Mugdha. That was an inspiring start to the day. You've set the tone perfectly, grounding us, expanding our breath, and reminding us that nature already holds the answers we've been searching for.